Now that we have our file saved, logo.psd, we can have a look at doing something with it. What I'm suggesting for this part of the tutorial is that we might make a logo, a special logo called a Lettermark, where you use letters to make up the logo, and we'll use our initials. So for example, my initials are PW, and there's an example of a logo mark. And then if we put that into context in a page, it might look something like that. So I've cut the W off for effect, which may be effective or not, but that's not the point really. We're looking at how do we create a little logo. See, I've used it down here as well. How do we create a little logo to put in our web page? And obviously the detail about what you do would be up to you when you use this tools that you're given here and make your own lettermark. So to make a lettermark, we'll need to put some text on the page. Text is over here under T for text. When you click on it and hold the left mouse button down, you get a flyout. There are 4 options, but you should probably see that the first option has a little bullet against it. That's horizontal type tool, and that's what we'll use. So let's click on that, and then you'll notice as you come out to the middle of the file here, we have what's called an I bar. That means that Adobe is ready to put some text in where you say we need to click to say where we want to put the text. But before we do that, we might come over to the tools over here and click either on this little box here, which represents the foreground color. We might pick a color from there, or we should be able to come up and click on this little box up here, and that also will take you to the same place where you can set a color for your text of set blue. Once we've set a color for our text, the next option might be to choose a typeface. I think what we'll do is we'll use whatever typeface we've chosen there. Just probably make the font size 72. So you can click this drop down here where the font size is specified, and we'll make it 72, and click outside in the document and click once. You'll see the I bar disappears and we get basically a blinking line, and that's where we can type. Now I'm going to type a small case P. So because we've chosen blue, it's come up blue, and because we've chosen Century Gothic, or we didn't choose it, that was the default, that's what it's come up as. So once you've got the text you want in, there's a few things we can do. You might not like where it's positioned. To change the position of the object, you come across to the toolbar here and you choose the very first tool. This tool is the Move tool. Clicking once on that tool and then coming out to the interface, you'll see that it's a little arrow with a little icon next to it. If we click on top of our object, we can move it around. So that's the Move tool. So we move it to where we think we might like it, but then we think, well, it's possibly not large enough. How do we go back and edit it? We come across to the layers. So over here we have the layers panel, and this is where each individual object out here in the interface has a corresponding layer. You'll notice that we have T here indicating that this object is a text object, and a small p next to it indicating that this is the particular text object we're looking at. To get back into edit mode, we double click on the T. Once we've double clicked on the T, it automatically selects whatever text is there. Then we come up to here in the text box and we click once. Just click once and it'll be highlighted, and then use the down arrow on your keyboard. And you can go through all of the typefaces that are available within the product and choose one for yourself. Choosing a typeface is a fairly complex process, or simple, depending on what you know about it and what you're looking to do. Just go through and at least have a look at the different interesting shapes that we can get and choose a typeface. I'm just going to choose Franklin Gothic simply because it's there. And also, what we might need to do is choose a larger size. You'll see here that it only indicates that the typeface will go to 72. But in fact, that's not true. If we click here, and then once again, we can type in, say, 280. We need to highlight the one that's already in there and press 280. Okay, back to the Move tool, and now we have a fairly large object there, which is our P. Next up, we need to make a W. So we can go through the same process. We can click on the T for text. We can see that it's retained the right value, so we just click out now that we've set it up, and put a W in, a small W. Once I've done that, I can select the Move tool, place it down here, something like that. And so that's the start to being able to generate this lettermark.